Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Andrauskas. Today is the 9th of July 2018. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this afternoon session where we're gonna have a look at a few instruments that I've picked for this video. And I believe that these are probably the most interesting ones for now to keep on monitoring. So yeah, guys, before we actually jump into the charts, quickly let's have a read through our risk disclaimers. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers research page here, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. We throw out different trading shoutouts, and of course, we produce our daily analysis. So yep, guys, feel free. Feel free to check us out, and I think you can find something useful for yourselves here. So, but for now, let's have a look at the markets. So the first one I'll actually show you guys, and I want to talk about, is the FTSE MIB. Now, the Italian index, we can see that it's currently stuck here in a range, and in this range here between approximately the 22,425 and this area beneath here and the 21,290. So approximately there we can see that we get overshoots, but eventually they kind of go back, the price kind of goes back within this range, and we're now currently stuck here. So certainly this is where the index could continue trading here for a while. We should continue monitoring this. Now if you look at the bigger picture here, actually let's get rid of some of these lines. Now they become a bit irrelevant, but we can see that this is the range that we need to keep on monitoring, guys. So for now, after we had this nice sharp decline here, which started around May time, so in the beginning of May, of course you probably are aware of this, the Italian elections, and this is what was driving it to the downside. So now, yep, it found its support here at around 21,290. Certainly, like I said, we had a few overshoots here towards the 21,150, but it quickly bounced back, and now, yep, where it seems that it wants to push higher. Certainly, the target on the bigger picture here, the target that we will be keep on watching right now, it would be this 22,425 mark, approximately there. So even actually, if we're gonna have a look at a 4-hour chart, and this is in order to kind of try and position ourselves here. So excuse me. So if we're gonna start aiming for these highs again here, the 22,080, well, let's round it up slightly to the 90, so 2290, a nice break above this could open the path towards this level here that I was just talking about, the 22,425, and potentially we could potentially position ourselves here for a careful trade, for a potential trade long here. So if we let me just quickly adjust this, guys. So potential trade could be around this, an entry point at 22,090, and with a target of this 22,425, approximately there, maybe slightly below that, just in case if it doesn't reach that. But of course, have your stop loss in place here, and a potential good stop loss to put would be this little low. Let me just quickly mark that one, around the 21,815. So approximately there, you could eventually place your stop loss here in order just to kind of protect yourself in case this reverses back down and we make a move lower here. So, but for now, certainly it seems that it's on a path towards this upper side of the range, which could get tested. Certainly, the question here is when. Certainly, yeah. The question here when, and nevertheless we could end up positioning ourselves here for a nice potential trade. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Keep an eye on this this level right here that I was just talking about, the 22,090. So approximately there. A break above that could open the path towards this upper side of the range. Let's quickly have a look at one more instrument, which I'm not going to probably stay around for too long on, but nevertheless it's still interesting to point out that Bitcoin is continuing to move higher here, even though with all the negative press that we're getting here lately. And certainly this is the interesting part, is that yep, we managed to make a move here above this 6500 zone, so we made a push higher. Certainly we can see that the price kind of tried to move lower here, and it tried to kind of break through the downside here, but never did that. We can see that the 21 EMA kind of continues to hold that as well, continues to support the rate. So for now it seems that, well, to be honest, that the negative press that we're getting lately in everywhere about all the cryptos and Bitcoin specifically, it seems that it doesn't care now, and it seems that the investors are kind of slightly turning back towards this crypto, and we could maybe potentially see a push here higher, maybe even actually aiming for these levels. Let me just adjust a few levels here, guys. So potential good area to watch could be around this 7,770 approximately there. So this could be a potential good target to hit for Bitcoin, and certainly if that doesn't hold, well, we could end up pushing higher. But for this one to for us to become more bearish on this one, we need to see a move below. First, of course, initially below the 6,500, and then of course below this 6,000. So it's the psychological 6,000 kind of is acting as a nice area of support here, and we can see that this is what we had in the past. Certainly the only one kind of false, well, we cannot really call it a false breakout here. We did have a close here below, but then quickly the next day the crypto got back above the psychological 6,000 level. So I mean, we can see still that the 6,000 kind of plays a key role on this one. So if this 6,500 also continues to play out as a nice area of support, I mean, we could, like I said, we could end up moving back towards this 7,770 mark approximately there, and then of course maybe the investors or the bulls will see it as a good possibility to jump in again, and we could maybe even see some higher levels. But of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. But this is where you could potentially kind of position yourselves for a possible trade, especially if looking at this daily chart, you will start seeing a break here above this 50 EMA shown here as the red line, and this is where probably could be interesting to enter and play a long position towards this level that I was just talking about at around 7,770, so approximately there. So yeah, too many sevens in this sentence. So anyway, so yeah, guys, this is something interesting to watch, and yep, to keep on monitoring. Certainly, let's have a look at a few pairs, and so the one that I really wanted to show you guys is the Euro Yen. Now, Euro Yen, it has made a nice push higher here, and you can see that on Friday, last Friday, we actually managed to break this downwards moving trend line here that has been running here from the 2nd of February. So we've managed to break it to the upside. Now it's the pair is testing this key area of resistance at around the 130.30 mark approximately there. So, and like I said, this is where it's going to become very interesting, because we are still, well, we are above this upwards moving trend line, well, or should I call it probably upside support line, to be honest, just because judging by this price action, and we are above this support line. It seems that, yep, we've broken this downside trend line as well, and we are testing this key area of resistance at around 130.30. Now, looking at the 4-hour chart, and this is where we probably could start positioning ourselves for a possible trade. If we could enter a possible long here at around this area that I was just talking about, the 130.30, certainly always have your stop loss in place, guys. I mean, I cannot just kind of not mention this. I mean, this is very important to have your stop loss in place, guys, and we could potentially aim for this area right here, this next potential area of resistance at around 131.40, approximately there. So 131.40, it's almost like it's about, well, it's actually 110 points away from the entry price, so very good potential target to reach. And with a stop loss, of course, with a stop loss somewhere around here, guys, around these highs here, we can see that at around the 129 500 mark, 129.500 could be your stop loss, because this is where the rate kind of found its resistance here recently at the end of June, but then eventually broke it to the upside here. So good area to watch for a potential stop loss as well. So this is where, like I said, this is how you could potentially position yourselves for a possible trade on the euro yen. So looking at another euro pair, actually, which I really wanted to touch on, is the euro Aussie. Now, this is a 4-hour chart. I'm not even going to go into the daily chart, as you probably can understand what's happening here. So we had a nice upwards moving support line here that has been running here since around the 5th of June, and we've now broken it to the downside, and we've actually managed to close on a day below this upwards moving support line. So certainly currently seeing this level here. Just let me quickly highlight that. There we go. This level right here is currently acting as a nice area of support, and that's around 157.250. So 1.57.250 approximately there. Yep, as acting as a nice area of support. We can also see that the 100 EMA is kind of also supporting that the rate from dropping. But if, to be honest, on the bigger picture, because it broke this upwards moving support line already, so if we see another test of the 157.250, we could potentially expect a break here and a move lower, where we could start targeting these other good areas of support, these potential areas of support. So the first good one to watch would be this 156.500 mark, approximately there. And this is how you could eventually position yourselves for a nice good short. Certainly this is just an idea, guys. I mean, anything, you know, we might get strong reversals back to the upside, and yep, and that's why we need to have our stop loss in place. So if we're going to place take profit somewhere around this area, around the 156.500 mark, well, probably keep your stop loss tight, and we could maybe place a stop loss around here, around the 157.750, something like that. Just because if we get a break here above the 157.750, this could open the path for a test of this upwards moving support line, and we could see a test of that one from underneath. So yeah, that's why it probably would be good to kind of cut your losses slightly sooner. And if, let's say, this reverses back down again, then this is where where we could try to enter position again, and kind of aim for this break of the 157.250 mark again. So this is just an idea for you guys to kind of course, have your it depends on your, of course, risk appetite, but something to watch out for. We could eventually actually move lower here, but probably this 156.500 could be the first potential take profit for you guys. So you could, of course, like I said, you could keep it running here lower, but yep, it's up to you guys. It's up to you. Okay, and one last pair that I really wanted to touch on, guys, is the GBPUSD. So the pound, the British pound against the US dollar. And again, this is the 4-hour chart. We can see that in my previous videos, I was talking about this level, this key area of resistance at around 132.500. We managed to break it nicely on Friday. We moved higher, and we broke another key area of resistance at around 133.15. I was also talking about this one in my previous videos, and we can see that we broke it to the upside. Certainly for now, this is looking more bullish on the slightly longer term. We could eventually target this first initial area of resistance at around 134.50. Let me just quickly adjust that nicely. So there we go. So approximately there. This is just an area, but to be honest, do not exclude a potential for a move higher, somewhere around here maybe, and then we could see maybe a slight reversal back to the downside. We could end up testing the 133.15 again from above, from which it could bounce back up and move higher towards these levels that I was just talking about. So basically we could just move this highlighted area here and make it well, just highlight the importance of it, let's say like that. Like I said, we could make a move higher. We could probably not reach that 134.50 straight away. Maybe we could see like a reversal back down and then a bounce from this level and then a move higher. So we could see a potential scenario, something like that. So let me just probably put a nice line here just to kind of mark this idea. So something like this, guys. Oh, we could maybe see something like this eventually at some point later on this week. So keep an eye on this one, guys. Certainly GBPUSD is looking interesting. Certainly it's looking a bit more to the bullish side than the bearish, and let's see what happens with it. Okay, guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and if you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Traders Espresso at 6 o'clock GMT time, 7 o'clock British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye-bye.